The attraction of paddling in East Greenland is cruising through seascapes adorned with ice. It is this very ice that casts the magic spell that draws us to these shores. Our expedition was intended to take us around the southern coast of the Maslik Island, across the Sermelik Fjord, so that we could explore the expanse of the Greenland ice cap. But in 2013, there was more summer ice than anyone could remember. Our expedition got more than we bargained for. We took a boat ride across the Maslik Fjord to our base camp. We were amazed at the skill of the skipper. Once we arrived at our base in Tasiilaq, we began to make plans for the challenging paddle ahead of us.
There's quite a lot of ice in there. Our optimum time probably for trying to get out of the harbour and around the corner will be at high tide, and high tide's the safest time to move in ice because it's when it's most buoyant, it's afloat.
Apart from our equipment and food, fuel provided us with a different challenge.
Result.
We've lost the connection. It's not that bad. It's not as good as Jameson's, but...
Time for a quick rollie, is it?
Oh yeah, go get me a fag. Just as soon as we got on the water, we got some important information from another group of kayakers.
Yeah, we just bumped into another local guide out with a group of kayakers. They've seen 2 polar bears on their trip, and one today just where we are going now. So just as a precaution, we've loaded the gun.
Negotiating the thick ice was slow work, and it took us all afternoon just to paddle a few miles. Eventually, we cut our day short in the hope that we could stay in a wooden hunting cabin.
Hey guys, we're on a winner here. 7 bunks. Unfortunately, somebody's going to have to sleep on the floor.
Well, the ice doesn't look quite as bad as yesterday, but there's time for all that to change.
The wind at the moment is all over the place. It's not particularly strong. We were a bit concerned it might be blowing ice onto this coast. Normally when there's no ice, there's easy landings. The only sort of issue really is we want to get through a gap. We want to come right out to the point and then cut in here. So fingers crossed, we'll be all right.
As we entered Sermelik Fjord, we stopped to explore an abandoned settlement called Ikatek. The church and the schoolroom are very much as they had been left in the mid-1990s. The further we ventured north, the more obvious it became that there was too much ice and we'd have difficulty in reaching the other side of the fjord. Abandoning our plans to reach the Greenland ice cap was disappointing, so, as a consolation, we decided that we would circumnavigate a Maslik Island instead. This would mean paddling further north to reach the settlement of Tinitikalak. To the east of Tinitikalak lies the entrance to a deep channel bound on each side with huge peaks and rock spires. As we entered, we found almost no ice. We paddled for a whole day in clear open waters until we could see into a Maslik Fjord. Later, as we made camp, we celebrated with a little target practice.
In with your finger, hold it in, and then it's a quick action. You pull back, So now you want to get it right into your shoulder, push the safety off, pull the trigger.
And you missed.
I missed.
The next day we had thoughts of exploring other parts of Amaslik Fjord. Once again, the ice was to prove problematic.
As I predicted, we're here, and do we, don't we?
It's a difficult decision to make, really, I think. And there's no major wind forecast, and it's obviously affected a lot by the tide, but obviously we've got the Greenland pack ice that's come down here. A lot of it was sucked in these fjords. I'd expect ice to be in there, in the entrance to that, but not in here too.
We would have to focus our efforts in completing our circumnavigation by returning as soon as possible to Tasiilaq. Occasionally we would land on flat ice floes. This helped us get a better view to find our way back. We set up camp for the last couple of days in a remote part of Kongoskahaven. This allowed time to wind down, relax and enjoy some of the nearby hiking trails. On the final day of our trip, we paddled into town to spend the evening enjoying pizzas and a few drinks. We had come in search of ice, but on this occasion, it was the ice that held us back.